When we talk about pop music in the 1960s and 70s, the names that surface are predictable. The Beatles, the Supremes, ABBA, Elton John. These giants shaped the soundtracks of their eras. But pop history isn't just about the titans. It's also about the hidden innovators, the bands who lived on the margins of fame, whose music whispered through college radio stations, appeared briefly on regional charts, or disappeared completely until rediscovery decades later. Today, we're revisiting those forgotten voices. These are the groups that never became household names, but left fingerprints all over the DNA of modern pop. This is a countdown of 15 obscure pop bands from the 60s and 70s you need to hear. Pop music in the late 60s thrived on garage experimentation, and the Lemon Drops are a perfect case study. Formed by a group of Chicago teenagers, their 1967 single, "I Live in the Springtime," carried shimmering guitars and psychedelic optimism. At the time, it barely made a ripple. But when it was rediscovered on the Cult Nuggets compilation in the 1980s, it became a retroactive classic. The Lemon Drops remind us that pop isn't only about mass success, it's about moments of brilliance, however fleeting. Before the mainstream even had a name for it, the Holy Modal Rounders were making freak folk. They bent traditional folk into something absurd, hallucinogenic, and playful. Their 1964 debut album may even be the first recorded use of the word psychedelic. Though rarely remembered outside niche circles, they helped lay the groundwork for later countercultural pop acts who used humor and surrealism as tools of rebellion. When people think of San Francisco's Summer of Love, the spotlight usually shines on Jefferson Airplane or the Grateful Dead. But Ace of Cups were quietly breaking barriers as one of the first all-female rock bands. Their music blended folk harmonies with gritty garage rock, R&B rhythms, and a distinctly feminine perspective in a male-dominated scene. They never broke through commercially, but their legacy speaks to the diversity and inclusivity bubbling beneath the surface of the era's pop revolution. It's gonna give you love and it's sweet as mine. In Australia, the mid-60s beat boom birthed countless hopefuls. Love and it's sweet as mine. Among them, MPD Limited burned bright and fast. Someday, baby. Their singles Little Boy Sad and Lonely Boy were local smashes, but international recognition never arrived. Their story underscores how regional pop scenes blossomed globally, even if only a few acts managed to cross oceans and make history. By the late 70s, pop was mutating in strange directions. Just be dead in the sky. Well, why? Enter 64 Spoons, a band whose music was equal parts satire, virtuosity, and genre-bending madness. Their mix of jazz chords, avant-garde humor, and theatricality made them hard to pin down. Though obscure, their frontman Jacko Yakshik would eventually find fame in progressive legends King Crimson. 64 Spoons exemplify how experimental ideas often outlive the bands that first dared to try them. At the intersection of pop, theater, and performance art stood the Gallo Queens. Masked and mysterious, they released eccentric tracks like I Like Birds alongside cabaret-inspired albums. They weren't chasing the charts, they were building an atmosphere. In retrospect, their bizarre aesthetic foreshadowed glam, art pop, and even aspects of goth culture. While the Zombies are celebrated for their psychedelic masterpiece Odessey and Oracle, their keyboardist Rod Argent carried the torch into his next project, Argent. This band blended prog's complexity with pop accessibility. Their track, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, later became famous through a Kiss cover, but the original highlights how Argent quietly bridged the gap between underground experimentation and mainstream pop sensibility. Even their name sounds like a parody of the psychedelic moment. But behind the tongue-in-cheek label was a group producing strange, beautiful, and haunting music. Their harmonies were tender, their arrangements adventurous. They were too odd for the mainstream, but too good to fade completely. For modern listeners, they embody the tension between pop's commercial polish and counterculture's restless experimentation. If Lewis Carroll had formed a pop band, it might have sounded like this. Quirky, mystical, and richly acoustic, the incredible string band created kaleidoscopic soundscapes that wove together folk traditions and psychedelic imagination. They even played at Woodstock, yet their whimsical eccentricity ensured they remained niche. Today, they're cult heroes among those who like their pop with a side of the surreal. One of the most criminally under-recognized bands in rock history. Fanny were the first all-female band to release albums on a major label and to tour internationally at scale. Their music was powerful, soulful, and packed with grooves. Despite their undeniable talent, they never broke into the mainstream, yet countless modern artists credit them as pioneers. Their story highlights the systemic barriers faced by women in pop and rock. Known in Britain for quirky pop singles like Flowers in the Rain, the Move never became global stars. Yet their creative force eventually evolved into Electric Light Orchestra, proving their influence was far-reaching. Overshadowed by the Beatles and The Who, the Move still deserve recognition for their wit, energy, and imaginative songwriting. Though often filed under proto-metal, Budgie's playful lyrics and explosive riffs place them on the pop rock spectrum of innovation. They influenced bands like Metallic, yet their name remains largely unknown outside niche circles. Budgie shows how the heavier edges of pop in the 70s blurred the line between rock rebellion and catchy songwriting. With hypnotic organ lines and moody atmospheres, Rare Bird were pop philosophers disguised as rockers.
It's the other half. And
their single Sympathy was a modest chart hit, but their deeper catalog reveals a band comfortable balancing progressive ambition with pop accessibility.
To go wrong.
They were never superstars, but they didn't need to be to leave a mark. In the early 70s, when prog and pop were colliding in fascinating ways, Nectar carved their own lane. They blended soaring melodies with cosmic, spacey textures. They built a loyal cult following across Europe, though mainstream radio never embraced them. Listening to Nectar is like stepping into a dream where pop hooks orbit in zero gravity. Hey, Pop Lore family! Did you know only 1% of viewers are subscribed? If you love deep dives into pop legends, forgotten gems, and the stories behind the songs that shaped generations, hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on LL notifications so you'll be the first to know when we premiere our next video. It's free, it helps Pop Lore grow, and it makes sure you never miss a single countdown or music story. Let's build this community together. At number 1, we have one of the most daring groups of their time. Flower Traveling Band fused Eastern influences with psychedelic and hard rock sounds, creating music that felt both alien and familiar. Though barely known outside Japan and Canada during their prime, their experimental edge has made them cult legends worldwide. Their existence reminds us that pop innovation wasn't confined to London, Detroit, or Los Angeles. It was a truly global movement. The journey doesn't end here. Pop lovers, watch this next.